Hello, and welcome to Pub and Fig. In this video, I will go over everything you need to know before you watch the Fantastic Four First Steps. I'll be using these projects as reference, so there'll be no spoilers from the trailers nor the marketing, although there is one thing that I should mention. Unlike most MCU movies and shows, this film will base itself in an entirely new universe. Fortunately for me, I don't need to recap certain events because they won't serve as a baseline in this timeline. Unfortunately for me, that also means I don't know what will and won't tie directly into this movie. So as a result, this video may be pretty multiverse heavy. Perhaps not as much as my Before You Watch Deadpool and Wolverine video, as I knew the Time Variance Authority and X-Men universes were going to play a key role there. But for this new iteration of the Fantastic Four, I will give you what I believe to be relevant enough info, whether that be just for this movie or going forward into the rest of the MCU. Now, without any further delay to do, let's review. I know this is most likely general knowledge, but this is not the first Fantastic Four movie to ever be released. There was an unreleased movie in the 90s, the two-film 2000s run, and the 2015's Fantastic Four attempt, or more infamously known as Fantastic. The unreleased 90s movie was conceived for the sole purpose of keeping the film rights in 20th Century Fox's hands, but considering it is still a niche subject, and that I haven't watched it myself yet, I'm going to assume we do not need to discuss it any further. As for the 2000s movies, their first outing showed Marvel's first family getting their powers alongside their Victor Von Doom and having to defeat him altogether. In their sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer, they must face off against the Rad Spaceman and the World Eater Galactus. Why did the creatives turn him into a giant cloud? Who knows, but I like to forget about that in favor of this cloud-munching devil instead. In the end, Galactus' own herald teleports both of them to who knows where, thus sparing Earth. Lastly, we have Fantastic, which saw Marvel's first family getting their powers alongside their Victor Von Doom and having to defeat him altogether.
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
They varied it, of course, with Doom having been sent to another dimension and wanting to rule from there, which they could expand upon as the MCU has been flushing out all of their different dimensions and realms, such as in the Ant-Man movies with the Quantum Realm or Shang-Chi with the Realm of Ta Lo. The movie overall goes for a more militaristic and weaponistic route rather than the slice of life and human vibe of the previous.
How bad is it? You know, I used to smoke.
But the execution wasn't great, and that's why we don't talk about Fantastic.
Say that again?
We don't talk about Fantastic, and I hope that this universe either gets pruned or that this read gets turned into the maker. Since those movies, the Fantastic Four has gotten 3 moments of representation in some form, those being in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, What If Season 3, and recently in Thunderbolts. However, now that we are dipping our toes in multiverse territory, let me go ahead and give a brief on everything multiversal. In the Loki series, a variant of Loki is arrested by the TVA, or Time Variance Authority. For shorthand, places like this are going to take place in what I call the Outerverse, since they take place outside of timelines and universes, but still within the multiverse at large. Loki and his female variant Sylvie uncover some of the TVA's lies, get sent to the TVA's dumping grounds dubbed the Void, and escape to another Outerverse location referred to as the Citadel to encounter He Who Remains. This guy created the TVA, tamed Goliath, won the multiversal war against his conquering variants, and in the comics anyway, is the descendant of the Fantastic Four from the 31st century. When Loki goes back to the TVA, he controls his time slipping, destroys the temporal loom that filtered out most timelines, and now sits where the Citadel once stood to maintain the multiverse tree. The TVA now watches over the multiverse at large, with a main focus to monitor the variants of He Who Remains, but the Council of Kang seem to be hiding under their noses as they too exist in the Outerverse. With this, the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse is born. Now, for those of you who had watched my Deadpool and Wolverine before you watched, this should look familiar, although with some revisions and updates. And for those of you seeing this for the first time, I swear it's simpler than it seems. We covered most of the Outerverse already, but the other spaces are the Gap Junction from Multiverse of Madness, the Observational Plane from What If, and Null's Prison from Venom: The Last Dance, although we shouldn't need to worry about that one. The red lines are for Marvel Studios created timelines, which for this video we will focus on the main Marvel timeline, or Universe 616, 2 universes from Multiverse of Madness, the universe from the post-credit scene of the Marvels, and the new Fantastic Four universe. The other Fantastic Four movies are yellow alongside most of the X-Men universes because they were produced by 20th Century Fox. Similarly, the dark blue lines are films produced by New Line Cinema, and the light blue below are by Sony. The purple lines, such as these combining the Spider-Man movies, represent space travel through universes. The orange lines are for time travel, although I classify the use of time travel tech to universe hop as orange as well. After Loki, here is a rundown of main general and multiversal events that I think are either just good to know or have a chance of playing an effect in this new movie. Spider-Man No Way Home pulled in the heroes and villains from the other Spider-Man iterations, opening the 616 universe to the multiverse at large. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness focuses on two universes in particular. One of them is actually the aftermath of two collided universes. A collision event like this is called an incursion, and it pretty much kills both timelines, the only survivor here being Sinister Strange. The other universe, which has the known number of 838, introduces the Illuminati, the heads of this universe's different groups, and of the groups represented, one of them is the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four. Didn't you guys chart in the 60s?
Unfortunately for them, all but one of the members are killed off, the survivor being their Sorcerer Supreme. In Captain America Brave New World, apparently the goal of the post-credit scene was for the quantum computer of a man to predict the existence and threat of other universes' Illuminatis. Is it warning about 838 in case they still have a beef with 616? Is it warning of some other Illuminati that could be similar to what we already saw? We don't know because it was already super vague to begin with. An interesting suspicion, though, is that the blue patch put on Doctor Strange's cloak of levitation is the same material that the Fantastic Four uses in their suits, but we have yet to see any confirmation of that. In the Marvels, the antagonist gets a hold of the quantum bands and corrupts a jump gate, opening a path into yet another universe. It is unclear whether this is a new universe or if this is actually the main X-Men universe or something like that we have seen already, but the gate was closed and stranded Monica Rambeau over there. Also, the 10 rings may or may not be on the same power level as the bands, and there is still a whole mystery around their origin. In Deadpool and Wolverine, a rogue TVA sect wants to test a new Time Ripper on the main X-Men timeline, which is Universe 10005, as this universe is projected to die after the events of Logan. So, Deadpool kidnaps a Wolverine variant, gets them stranded in the void where other characters were stranded, and manages to revitalize 10005 and destroy the Time Ripper. It's a bit more technical than that, but that should be good enough for this video. While the Ketchup and Mustard duo were in the void, they come across Chris Evans' Johnny Storm. This does twofold. Firstly, it shows that variants, the varying versions of a character, can look the same, look different, and or so happen to look like someone else.
Avengers, flame on! Sorry, what now?
And secondly, Johnny says Reed had tried to study the void, which means the whole team was likely trashed here at the same time as their universe was being pruned or destroyed. Bye bye 2000's Fantastic Four. We don't know if this is the exact version of those characters or if it's just another version that looks the same and the original one is still there. We don't know, but for all intents and purposes, it was probably that one. As for the other Fantastic Four references, what if Season 3 also name drops Reed Richards when listing people the Watcher has helped? The Watchers are supposed to only observe and not intervene, hence the gravity of this situation. I would assume that this is just a background element and a small Easter egg and nothing more than that, but there is speculation that what the Watcher did would actually play a role in First Steps, but we'll just have to see. Lastly, we come to Thunderbolts, aka the New Avengers. A year after the team assembled, they received an extra-dimensional alert, possibly from the Saber Tower if that is still up in space, and when they took a look at the feed, it shows a ship design and logo from this new Fantastic Four universe. Why are they here? Nothing is confirmed yet, and I don't want to get into any theories and speculation, but I do want to discuss this theme that we've been seeing of discovering the multiverse. No Way Home confirmed to 616 that alternate universes exist. Multiverse of Madness and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania show that groups like the Illuminati and Council of Kings have already documented a decent bit of the multiverse outside of the TVA, and other universes like that of the Marvels are also beginning to learn themselves. Could we be witnessing a multiverse arms race? Maybe, and this is what He Who Remains predicted when observing his Kang variants, but we'll just have to see as we encroach closer to Avengers Doomsday. With that said, if you would like to have a copy of the Multiverse Map, I left a link in the description down below for a 4K version, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and comment down below what your most anticipated July release was. Both of those things will help other people find this video and continue to expand the Pub and Fit community. And if you would like to continue to stay in the loop when it comes to future movies and shows, then please consider subscribing to the channel as we approach Phase 6 and beyond. Anyway, that is all. Sayonara.